How y'all doing? It's Trent Sanderson. Once again, you are on the infamous Living Realm Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for becoming a part of our movement. You know, Realm Team movement. We doing big things every single day. New videos every single day. You know, connecting ourselves with like-minded people that are just like us, motivated, driven. You know, people full of ideas and insights. People that are leaders like we are here on the Living Realm Network. That's all that consists around the realm, guys. So feel free to connect with other people. You know, you see people comment on some of these videos. You see some of my friends on Facebook, Instagram, whoever likes a photo or whatnot. You know, make sure you connect with those people and you just like them, add them, so that way we can make the web that much more broader. Okay, so divine power is always working for us because we're trying to do right. So what is the difference between the race mind and the godly mind? If you didn't watch my video yesterday, guys, that I uploaded to Facebook, entitled, I can't remember what it was entitled, but if you just go to my Facebook page after you watch this video, you will see that video. And I was talking about, you know, the difference between heaven and hell. A lot of people look to a lot of people think that heaven is something that you have to experience when you die. A lot of people look to heaven as somewhere on the clouds. You know, heaven is somewhere, you know, literally interpreting the scriptures. The pearly gates, the streets of gold, you know, like literally a pearly gate with the streets of gold, and a place where there are a whole bunch of mansions, house after house after house after house after house. But for a book that's been going on for years and year after year after year, known as the Holy Bible, the book, it always lives, it never dies, says all this stuff symbolically. It's symbolic. It's metaphorically speaking, dark sayings, parables, astronomy. There's a lot of numerology in the Bible. There's a lot of stuff in the Bible that it's not meant to be taken literally. So when we see stuff like a beast with 4 heads and 18 eyes, that's not saying like there's a beast with 5, 6 heads and 20 eyes. It's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff is symbolic, guys. So, you know, heaven and hell is also symbolic. And that ties into what I'm about to talk about now, which is the race mind versus the godly mind. The race mind would be the mind of hell, the mind whose thoughts about the truth are dormant, the mind that is filled with negativity, the mind that is filled with seeing that everything is impossible, it's not able to be obtained, the mind that doesn't know how to react to certain situations only through ignorance, but only through ignorance it know how to react. The race mind thinks to do things like what it has seen other people do. You know, I only gonna do it because the way it was already done over here, so I'm gonna do what they did and expect different results. The race mind sees colors, you know, to determine whether or not somebody is somebody that they would like. The race mind sees like, okay, Indian people, this is an Indian person, so they will be like this, which is not true. The race mind sees an African American, says, oh, because of a color, they are gonna be like this. That's the race mind. The race mind looks at stuff like the news and, you know, stuff that they can take for face value and make it a reality, a truth for themselves. But they're not there as this is happening. They was not there when it took place. The race mind looks at a story on the news, and whatever the news says is right and what's wrong, what happened, the race mind believes that and carries it to the next person as though it's something that's true, but they were not there. They did not see it physically happen. They were not on the scene. The race mind believes anything something tells it without evidence, without facts, without being there. The race mind looks at the surface of things rather than looking at what's at the bottom of the iceberg, which is a much bigger picture. You know what I mean? The race mind was able to look at everything that we were taught in history books and take it and put it into our life and say, hey, this is actually really true. This is how it happened because we read a book with some words in it that somebody else's opinion wrote, and we believe it and we take it for our life and we accept it and we make it the cornerstones of how we believe. That's the race mind. That's how the race mind thinks, guys. The race mind also thinks like the only way I'm going to react to a situation to come up with a solution is through negativity or through ignorance or through violence. When they do violence on us, we turn around and do violence on them. That's the race mind. The race mind reacts off of emotions. Don't you notice when you always react off your emotions, you do something wrong, and then you think about it a day later when you wake up in the morning, you be like, dang, I shouldn't have did that. Or when you do act off your emotions, after you leave the scene or the situation or the circumstance, you think about it like, dang, I should have did that more differently, because you were acting off your race mind. The race mind consists of the ego, false evidences that are not real, negative belief systems. All that is compiled in one thought process, and that's the race mind. Now I'm gonna switch it up, guys, so you can understand a little better. This is the infamous Living Room Network. I'm Trent Henderson. The difference between a race mind and a godly mind. That's the video you're watching. Please make sure you subscribe after. Please share, because people need the wisdom, people need the insight, guys, and it's very important that we inspire our brothers and sisters. Over here, the godly mind, the Jesus Christ, so to speak, mind, the Jesus Christ mind. A lot of people think that in order to have a godly mind, you gotta die and go to heaven. You have to be rich first in order to think good about the life that you're living. You can't see the goodness in the life that you're living right now because you're in poverty. I'm still talking about the race mind. I'm sorry. The godly mind sees different. Like, the godly mind sees the beauty in everything that you're currently going through right now in life. The godly mind chooses not to focus on all the negative stuff, but focus on all the beauty in people. The godly mind, when you look at somebody, you don't judge them. This is what the godly mind does. When you look at somebody, when it looks at somebody, it doesn't judge them off the color of the skin or the clothes or the brand that they're wearing, the way their eyebrows are shaped, the way their mustache is, the way how big their jawbone is. That's not what the godly mind does. The godly mind sees everybody in their highest potential. The godly mind says to the person, the spirit, the soul, this is another creation of God. There's something special about this person too, just like there's something special about you. Wouldn't you want to experience it? And you as a person say, yes. And then you treat that person with the utmost respect, and you're like, and then they start treating you with respect because they see that you value them, and that's how people are, man. Like, when you show people that they are important, when you talk to people like they are gods, because that's what the Bible say, ye are gods. When you talk to people like they are gods, like they got power, like they know something that you don't know, like they look beautiful, like they're doing their job well, like they're wearing their clothes right. When you treat people and recognize all the good things about them, in a split second, that person will show you the beauty of who they are. They will give you opportunities. They will give you coupons. They will show you. They will open up doors for you. They'll perform all kind of miracles for you. They'll tell you why and this is that. And you can basically just get your way through life by being so nice to people. You can't. You know what I mean? It's a wonder why you can just walk into a store and your friend was there from last week that you had a long conversation with and you was admiring them. And then you walk into the store and they be like, hey, come this way. And you're like, what's going on? Well, I just want to give you some of this free stuff that we got here in the back. We're not using it anymore. What? All because you were using your godly mind. You was using your godly mind and seeing how they could be. And so that's the same thing with everything in life. You know, the godly mind doesn't judge off face value. The godly mind hears a story from somebody else, but it wants to know more details. You know, were you there when it happened? How do you know this is true? Were you there? Oh no, you just telling me something that you think you believe is right and wrong, but you wasn't there. You know what I mean? The godly mind is able to see through people's actions and see the real reason why they're doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like the godly mind thinks like Jesus Christ. You know, like you know, there's no special day to come for me to do the great things that God has made for me to do. The day is now. I ain't waiting next week in order to start my business. I'm starting now. That's the godly mind, because I realize that now is the best time of my life. You got to realize that now is the best time of your life. A lot of people say, I'm going to go on my diet next month when I get more time off work. That's the race mind. That's the race mind. That's the mind of impossibility. The godly mind says, no, God can do it right now and start right now. And I'm going to do it right now. Anything in the future is going to be a result of what's right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how godly people think. That's how true godly people think. You know what I mean? Godly people don't think like, well, if you go to that church, then you're not godly because you don't go to our church. That's the race mind, religious folks. You understand what I'm saying? God, real, true, godly people just see the love in everything. You know what I'm saying? And so I just really want you guys to understand the difference between this. I know this is a controversial topic. I know this has a lot to do with religion and stuff like that. You know, the race mind versus the godly mind. So I just really want you guys to see the difference between the two, you know, and I'm gonna give you, before I leave, I'm gonna give you some examples of, you know, since it's Sunday, I'm gonna give you some examples of, you know, Jesus Christ and how he was using the godly mind. You know, for instance, he was going around healing people and performing miracles because he literally didn't see any limit in his mind. It's his point, it's clear as that. Like, Jesus did not see limits like a lot of people did. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people had already given up on belief. A lot of people had given up on faith. Jesus' faith was so strong that he didn't care. He just believed that it was. Like, he just believed, like, for instance, the story of Lazarus. Lazarus was dead. Everybody was crying, mourning, weeping, feeling sorry because they really, truly seen, if they seen him dead, they believed he was dead. But Jesus knew the power of God, and the power of God is infinite. The power of God is beyond human beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So Jesus knew this. So Jesus is like, what y'all crying for? What? People with a little faith, why y'all crying? Y'all think he's dead? So Jesus simply went up there, rise, Lazarus. Because that's how he believed. Like, and based on the way he believed, it's the way that God moved in his life for him. So, you know, and he did this quite on quite a few occasions, you know, where he was going around healing people and stuff. People were still, you know, wondering why is it that he could do this stuff so well. It's simply because he believed. He wasn't like them. He wasn't a doubtful person like them. He didn't see limits like them. You know what I mean? These people were like, well, why are you performing miracles on the Sabbath? They seen a limit in performing on which days you perform miracles. But good stuff supposed to happen every day. So Jesus was like, what are you talking about? This is a thing that God's doing on this day. Why should you be mad that I'm doing it on the Sabbath? Oh, because of your religious traditions and the way that you conceptualize every day of the week. You got this day for that day, or do that thing. This day does that thing. The Sabbath is gonna be like they seen limits in certain things, and so Jesus was a guy who came in and showed them who God really was. And so you know, in today's time, that's what we're dealing with nowadays. You got a lot of people that want to cling to the old way of doing things. A lot of people that see limits, and so they're not experiencing the full effect of God because they see so many limits. A lot of people are living in poverty And a lot of people don't have abundance because they see life in limits. You know, they don't think that they could become something other than what they have already been, because they can't. If they haven't seen anything with their two eyes, they're not gonna do anything different from what they've been doing. So, you know, that's the difference between a race mind and a godly mind, guys. Once again, this is Trent Anderson, the infamous Living Rim Network. I love all you godly people out there who don't see no, fault in things, and who see everything with love, who sees everything with goodness, who sees the beauty in the trees, the birds, the life that you live in, whatever it is. It's all about seeing the beauty, guys, and that's how you see God. That's how you see God, when you see everything as a beautiful created piece. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. This is Trent Anderson. You're on the infamous Living Room Network. Peace.